Welcome to Codebusters 9. In this booklet, we'll go over the letters W, R, and D. Remember, parental interaction is essential in this series, especially when your child says the letter names and their sounds. Now let's open up the booklet to the front and side cover. Here you'll see this picture, or this page, and at the top we want to show you that whenever you see any sort of tracing or guidance for the letters, that you must write these letters. So let's jump into our first letter. Let's read the directions at the top first. Repeat each letter name and its sound after your teacher 3 times. This is the lowercase letter W. Its name is W. Its sound is W, as in wagon. And now we'll say the letter name and sound. W, 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 W. And now we'll write our W. This is the uppercase letter W. Its name is also W. Its sound is also W, as in wagon. W, 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 W. And then we can write our uppercase W. Now let's go on to the next section. Say the name and sound or beginning sound of each letter or picture. You can ask for help during class if you're not sure what these pictures are. Then fill in each letter or circle each picture. Let's start with this first one. This is the letter W. Its sound is W. And now we can write our W. This is a picture of a wagon. The beginning sound is W. And now we can circle the wagon. This is a picture of web. The beginning sound is W. And now we can circle it. This is a window. The beginning sound is W. And now we can circle it. This is a picture of wet. The beginning sound is W. And now we can circle it. This is a picture of win. The beginning sound is W. And now we can circle it. This is a picture of wind. The beginning sound is W. And now you can circle it. Now let's go on to our next letter. Repeat each letter name and its sound after your teacher 3 times. This is the lowercase letter R. Its name is R. Its sound is R, as in rat. R, 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 R. And now you can write the R. This is the uppercase letter R. Its name is also R. Its sound is also R, as in rat. R, 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 R. And now we can write the uppercase letter R. Now let's go on to the next section. Say the name and sound or beginning sound of each letter or picture. You can ask for help during class if you're not sure what the pictures are. Fill in each letter or circle the picture. This is the letter R. Its sound is R. And now we can write our lowercase letter r. This is a rat. The beginning sound is R. And now we can circle it. This is a ring. The beginning sound is R. And now we can circle it. This is a rabbit. The beginning sound is R. And now we can circle it. This is the color red. The beginning sound is R. And now we can circle it. This is a raccoon. The beginning sound is R. And now we can circle it. This is a rock. The beginning sound is R. And now we can circle it. Now we'll move on to our last letter. Repeat each letter name and its sound after your teacher 3 times. This is the lowercase letter D. Its name is D. Its sound is D, as in dog. D, 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 D. And now we can write our lowercase letter D. This is the uppercase letter D. Its name is also D. Its sound is also D, as in dog. D, 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 D. And now we can write our uppercase letter D. Now let's say the name and sound or beginning sound of each letter or picture. During class, you can ask for help if you're not sure what the pictures are. Fill in each letter or circle each picture. This is the letter D. The sound is D. And now we can write our D. This is a picture of dog. The beginning sound is D. And now we can circle it. This is a picture of duck. The beginning sound is D. And now we can circle it. This is a picture of doll. The beginning sound is D. And now we can circle it. This is a picture of dinosaur. The beginning sound is D. And now we can circle it. This is a picture of dolphin. The beginning sound is D. And now we can circle it. This is a picture of dig. The beginning sound is D. And now you can circle it. Now we'll get into the blending that you'll see in this book, and we'll start with the directions. Say the sound of each letter separately, then blend the sounds together. So we'll start with this first one, and we'll just keep going through. W, a, w, a, wa. W, I, w, I, wi. W, a, w, a, wa. R, a, ra. R, I, ri. R, a, ra. R, ra. D, a, da. Ad, ad. D, I, di. Id, id. Odd, odd. D, duh. Ud. And that's all the new blending you'll see in this booklet. Now for the parents. Remember, parental interaction is essential in this series, especially when your child says the letter names and their sounds. If you open up your student's booklet to the front inside cover, you'll see a page that looks like this. What we're trying to show you with this page at the top is that whenever your child sees any sort of tracing or guidance, your student needs to be writing those letters. Whereas if you don't see any tracing or guidance in the letters, then your child does not need to complete those letters. However, it is very good practice for your child to write these letters, as it can hone in on their fine motor skills. And at the very bottom of this page, we remind you to read with your student every day, and we'll get more into that later on in this video. So now let's jump into the booklet, and we're going to go over a couple of activities. One of them, found on page 3 at the top, you'll see an activity that asks the student to isolate the ending sound of the picture. It's important for your child to be able to isolate the different sounds throughout the words to be a stronger reader. So in this picture, or in this activity, hopefully your child identifies this picture as web. And what we want you to do is, if your child struggles with this activity, overemphasize that ending sound for your student. Web, web. And by overemphasizing, hopefully your child will identify that sound as B. But we do put in P in there to make sure that they identify the difference between P and B. And so hopefully if you can overemphasize that, your child should be able to get it easily if they can't get it on their own. The next activity, which is new in this booklet but will be seen throughout the rest of this series, is for your child to isolate the middle sound of a picture. So these are mainly going to be review words. In this instance, we're using the word mug. So once again, if your child struggles with this, just overemphasize the medial sound of the word. Mug, mug. So far in this series, your child has learned A, I, O, and U. So hopefully your child can identify that this medial sound is U. But if your child, once again, struggles with identifying that middle sound, then just overemphasize it and make sure they're understanding that the beginning sound is M and N is just in there just to take up space, essentially. So just make sure you're overemphasizing that medial sound for your student. Another activity that may be a little challenging for some students is rhyming. In this instance, essentially how you can help your student is by overemphasizing the ending sound and also giving a lot of examples. So this first one we have, the word that's given is can, and we need to figure out which of those three pictures rhymes with can. So once again, what we want to do is overemphasize. So we'll just go through each of the possible answers and just emphasize the ending sounds together. An, can, van, van, can, plane, can, camel. And so hopefully your student identifies that can and van rhyme. But if not, you can give your student more examples. Can van, can tan, can ban, and just keep going and see if they can think of anything. Even if it's a made-up word, if they can come up with an example, that will help them to understand what is rhyming. The next one is fin, and once again, you just want to make sure you overemphasize the ending sounds and then say that word with the other possible answer choices. So you have fin frog, fin win, fin pig. And hopefully this one is very straightforward. Fin and win rhyme. Another thing that is at the end of every fourth page in this booklet is going to be review. In this activity, we want your student to say the name of each letter, then say the sound of each letter, and then your student can write each letter. Your student is learning a lot of new material and a lot of information in these booklets, so it's important to ensure that they're retaining all of that information throughout this series. Lastly, I want to draw your attention at the bottom of every fourth page, you'll see a prompt to read a story with your student. So let's flip to the back of the book. The back inside cover will look something like this. Now, you don't have to use our story specifically, but we do incorporate a lot of the vocabulary and the sounds that your student is learning throughout the booklet. So let's start with the directions. Let's read this story. Follow my finger underneath each word as I read it. Repeat as many times as desired. Then your student can find all 5 rocks just for a fun activity. And as you can see in this story, we do incorporate a lot of the vocabulary and the sounds. But it's also important for you to follow along with your finger so your child can start correlating the sounds with the words that you're reading. So as long as you're reading with your student every day, that's most important. If they have a favorite book or you went to the library, you're more than welcome to use that instead of this booklet, instead of this story, that is. The last thing that we want to remind you of is that whenever you're blending with your student and working with your student throughout this booklet, we use mainly short vowels in these. So make sure that you're using the short vowels instead of the long vowels. So we'll go over those right now. We want to use a as in apple, I as in igloo, a as in as in octopus, and as in umbrella. So just make sure you're using those vowel sounds. If you have any questions, please contact the person who is the owner or manager of the center that you attend.